Let me get this tweeted out so everybody can join in here. 1 second, please. Do 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 do. There. Let me post it there. Put it there and there. Cool. Good, good, good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a wonderful and blessed weekend, and happy Mother's Day out there to all the moms out there. Really hope everybody enjoyed a great weekend. So pretty excited, guys, about tonight's show. We're going to be continuing our series here on the weekly Elliott Wave Analysis, Riding the Waves with John and Paul. And today we're going to be talking about the DOGECOIN count. So what a week for Doge, right? We had Elon Musk going on Saturday Night Live this weekend. Got a little bit of a dip off of that one, but now, I mean, it looks like he's really stepping up to the plate, and he's basically calling his next SpaceX ship the Doge One, and it's basically, I think, going to be funded with Dogecoin or something like that. Anyway, so that again, the hype continues. So we're going to put a count on this one and see if it plays out, right? So good stuff there. Anyway, guys, we got Paul here. So joining us from Colorado. Paul, are you out there?
Hey, John, thanks. Yeah, how's it going, people? Out here from
Awesome.
Colorado.
Great. Awesome from Colorado. You guys could hear Paul. Just a quick mention there for the sound check on that one. In the meantime, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. So what we're going to do is what we always do is we're going to take a look and see where we left off at the market on Friday, and then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening, kind of get a feel of what's going into tomorrow morning, and then we will go through the topic. We'll have Paul take a look at Dogecoin and anything else he has on his radar. I'll take a look at a couple other ones that I have on my Elliott Wave radar, and then we will leave time for some questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right, so SPX, guys, I got the monthly chart pulled up here. What a bounce here of that monthly cloud on the monthly SPX right here, and just a huge, huge bounce on this one. And we are still green and going up, right, up 30 points on Friday, and still a green chart. Weekly chart, guys, pretty impressive, right? So we're pushing our way back up to the upper Bollinger Band. Again, kind of a hammerish type candle right here. We saw something similar back here. We got some follow through to the upside. We are finally at the overbought level here on the RSI. And if we continue to push its way up, the bearish divergence kind of goes away off of this one. However, there's still a chance for more bearish divergence off of this recent high here. So we'll see how that goes. But really what we want to do is just kind of keep an eye on the McClellan oscillator right here and see if it can break down below the minus 100 line to really kind of start to weigh heavy and maybe look for a pullback here to the weekly cloud. So we're definitely keeping an eye on that. In the meantime, right, bullish until proven otherwise. And the daily chart is very, very similar, right? If you go to this daily chart right here, you'll see that we got a fresh high on Friday. And what that does is that shifts our trend lines over, right? This trend line is the macro trend line has still been the same, but we have two bump lines, right? So a bump line off of here to here, right? And then a bump line from here to here, still showing strength, and all of them are fresh, right? So there's no trend boxes right now, and we're continuing to trend up. So we're tracking this one. I mean, this thing looks like it can continue to work its way up. 4,400 was a target that we had not too long ago. It is possible this thing really wants to scream its way up. It could work its way up here to kind of this 45.60 area if it really got super bullish, but we'll see how that goes. One of the big things that we had going, if you guys recall from last week, our series last week, we talked about the 1-2-1-2 wave punch, and we actually got that set up for us on the SPX. It was great, and we pointed it out to members, and then we pointed out the second 1-2 on the live stream here on the 6th, and just a really, really nice move, right? Going into last week, we were kind of up right here. We were expecting a wave 2 pullback, okay? So then we had a nice wave 1 bounce off of that. So after that wave 1, we were expecting the 1-2-1-2, right? So here's your 1-2-1-2 right off the 618, which is a very common Fibonacci for the wave 2 pullback, and then kapowie, right? So we got this nice move up here. Looks like it could be possibly just kind of finishing up a wave, right? So we kind of have this 1, 2, 3, 4. It might give us a little wave 5 here to finish up wave 3. Then we'll see if we get a wave 4 pullback, right? And then where we go from there. So cool stuff. Let's take a look at the futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening. And so futures, imagine that we're up. So we're up 5 points right now. Still continuing to kind of test the recent highs here on the with the overnight inventory. We got a nice little pop. We had a triple inside 15 up for a nice spike up there. I know some members were trading that this evening, so good job on that. Looks like it could be potentially making a bull flag right here, but we're seeing some very low volume, right? So 194 contracts on 1 5 minute candle, right? So very light volume tonight. So we'll just see how it holds. We'll see how it holds this geometric line going into tonight. Is this one example of what we'll be looking at? And of course, we have the previous all-time highs, right? Could be an interesting level of interest, right? So we'll see how that goes here going tonight and where we end up tomorrow. And we'll have a fresh game plan out tomorrow in our bubble report for the futures with levels provided in Thinkorswim and in the bubble report itself, so you can copy it into your trading software. And really good stuff. So we're pumped about doing that. So good. So guys, we are really happy to have Paul with us again here this evening for the Elliott Wave Show, Riding the Waves with John and Paul. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the DOGECOIN count. And so Paul, guys, is an Elliottian, has been a active member in our group and runs the Elliott Wave channel in our Discord. So, folks, if you are interested in, if you like what you hear Paul talking about tonight, and you are new to Elliott Wave, or even if you're experienced with it, and you want to be able to bounce charts off of Paul throughout the day, the Discord is a great place to do that, to check to see how your wave counts are looking, and it really helps to have that. So Paul is joining us here tonight, and he's going to be talking a little bit about the DOGECOIN count. So Paul, what you got for us?
Hey, how's it going, people? Looks like we got a 1-2-1-2 going on right now for Doge. Um, we started off, oh, here we go. We started off with this wave one in blue. This was the initial first big push up where everybody started to notice that Doge was going up. And then we got this A, B, C for a wave two, which would be an expanded flat. And then we've had this gradual push up in this new wave one and another wave two, which I can't really call the fractal, but it's pretty close to this wave too, where we have an extended B and then a long C wave. So I'm thinking 1-2-1-2, and it looks like we're bouncing not quite up to 618, but a little bit above, and we should be going up in wave three for Doge. The 1.618 extension for wave three, if we get that, is 1.2, but wave threes can also go to 2.618. So this wave three could go to 1.80.
$1.80 on Doge. Wow, that'd be awesome. That's to the moon.
Yeah, so this a 1-2-1-2 count is really bullish. This does look pretty bullish to me.
That's great.
Hard,
And guys,
yeah,
if you caught last week's show, right, we talked about that 1-2-1-2 wave punch, and it's very possible that Doge can be doing the same thing. We just pointed out here and in the group on the SPX, right, that 1-2-1-2 that gave us that nice impulsive wave up after that. So let's see if Doge is ready to do it.
yeah. And the reason I went to 1-2-1-2 because we do have this overlap going on, and this looks like a five-wave move. So instead of 1-2-3-4, we're getting the 1-2-1-2. A little more
Oh, yeah.
the overlap, which is a little more bullish. So what I've been doing, I've been looking at this one wave, and some people in the group are trying to get a buy, and they're like, "When's the dip? When can we get back in the Doge?" And so I was doing an 8-minute count, and here's a look at this wave one. It's the same wave one as this blue wave one here, but I got it
Nice.
broken down to 8 minutes. And you can see we got a 1-2-3-4, and then we get an extended fifth wave, a long fifth wave, the complete wave one.
Mm-hmm.
When I was looking at this, I'm like, well, this looks like a top. We got these reversal candles up here and the start of a black candle. So I set up my fibs, and I'm thinking maybe we'll drop down and we'll bounce off the cloud. So the next pick, yep, we started to come down. And we got this push up. I wasn't really sure what was going on here. Maybe some kind of 1-2-3-4-5, maybe a zigzag. Wasn't really sure. And then it kind of developed like this and shot down right to the 382 and started to bounce, which is pretty bullish. To get a bounce off the 382 is pretty bullish compared to if price went a little bit lower. But this is where we are right now. We got a wave one and a wave two bounce off to 382. Theoretically, it is possible this could A, B, C, and we still could get a two down by the 618. But if the buyers step up, we could start going up in wave three from the 382.
Nice.
Yeah. Ironically, this puts wave three at exactly a penny. are exactly a buck if we go up from the 382.
It takes us exactly to $1. I love it.
From the 382, yeah. And it looks like that could happen. So, anyways, that's Dogecoin.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's strong. I wish I was in it, but I'm not.
Yeah, I just when I first heard Elon kind of, I'm not really heavy into crypto, because most of the crypto names that are out there, it just kind of has that feeling of like the dot-com bubble, right? All these dot-coms out there that are trying to, just get these explosive moves, and a lot of them do get these big moves. But once Elon kind of came back out and started, I was like, well, hey, it's 5 cents or whatever. I'll give it a try. And it just like went up, right? Just it's like huge move. So I've got a little bit of Doge. The rest, I sold some, and the rest I have now is free, based on the big move up. So we'll see if that, we can hold this one up to $1, and then maybe save some to see if the rest will go to the moon. That's kind of the that's the goal on that.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. You take a quick look at BTC real
Yeah,
quick.
Bitcoin. How's Bitcoin doing?
Yeah, Bitcoin's doing good. I have this in this bull count where we have a wave one up, a leading diagonal with some overlap, a wave two down. It looks like another wave one. So I got his Bitcoin going up in a bullish wave five right here. We still could do the ABC zigzag, but it will be invalidated once price gets over the 887. So once we clear the 887, then a good chance we're going to keep going up.
Nice.
So that's Bitcoin. Here's GBTC. This flat looks a lot cleaner on GBTC than Bitcoin because we got this wave three and then we get our A, B, C down for a wave four, and it looks like GBTC is going up in a wave five also.
Nice.
So there you go. There's the crypto corner.
Cool. How about I may as well ask, how about Ethereum?
Ethereum, yeah. Let's see what we got for that. I think I got a chart on there. I mean, Ethereum just keeps on going. I mean, theoretically, I thought we were going to top out around here somewhere, but I played around with this over the weekend, and we got room to go up. I have as a 1-2-1-2, and we're not finished with this wave three yet. So we're going to finish this impulse up to finish this three wave, then four, and then five. So a lot more upside for Ethereum.
That's awesome. Cool. Good stuff. Wow, that was our crypto night tonight. So we profiled Dogecoin tonight. We demonstrated the power of the 1-2-1-2 from our show from last week. And Paul did a great job here reviewing wave counts on a couple other crypto names. And so really, really cool stuff, guys. Again, there's links in the description. If you guys like Paul's work and his Elliott wave counts and you want to bounce some ideas with him during the day, feel free to join our group and check that out there. If you want just kind of the basics of it, you can check the bubble report. Paul puts out 2 fresh wave counts each morning for our bubble report by 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. And along with a lot of other good stuff in there, we do a full futures game plan. We take a look at some other stocks that are setting up technically, and we look at unusual option activity, headlines, things that are moving markets, stuff like that. It's a really great morning report. So there's the basics there. You can upgrade and check us out in the Discord too. So, but good stuff there, guys. So awesome, Paul. So before we go to questions and chart requests, I want to show a couple accounts that are on my radar right here, at least a couple stocks that are on my radar. Not necessarily a definitive count at this point, but I think these are looking pretty interesting, right? So keep an eye on Apple, right? So Apple, I've actually got multiple counts on this one. So it had a really, pretty good impulsive move down right here. It had, this 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like it finished wave 5. We could be sort of an A, B, C finish right here, and we might be working on a 1, 2, right? The bearish 618 was defended, right, by the bears, and it's rallying a little bit off of the 382, so it could be working on the a symmetrical zigzag down here for Apple. That is a possibility. However, this was its move up was also a harmonic move, right? So we had an impulsive move down, right? We had and this is defined by X, A, B, C, D right here. So the CD harmonic wing gave us a nice move up, and so at this point here we look at that as there's a potential pullback off of that, but it's already hit essentially its 382 area, so it's which is usually the first target off of that, right? So if we kind of just go up here, right, it's already basically almost hit the 618 off of that as well. So really basically what I'm seeing on Apple is kind of like a multiple wave counts, right? So we could be working on this 1-2 zigzag down, or if that's done, right, and this for instance maybe is working on a larger harmonic, we may see some more downside and then a big push up. So I've got a couple alt counts on this one. This could be sort of a, like we said, this is about a 50% retrace, almost to the 618. This could be a wave one up, right? This could be an A, B, expanded flat, C, and then we might see more impulsive upside action. I think this week's going to be very interesting for Apple to help give us some clues in which way it wants to go. So I don't have a definitive direction on this one at this point, or at least a high confidence direction on this one at this point. But this week might give us some good indications that we'll be talking about that in the group, of course, one of our favorite ones to look at. The other one I wanted to point out is CRM. And we've talked about this on the series a lot here, guys, but what an epic channel move. I mean, just fantastic, right? I mean, every time I hit the top, down, bottom, works its way to the top, down, works its way back to the top. And look at this reversal right here. I'm going to admit, I missed this one. And we talked about this here on the live stream. Like, oh, let's keep an eye out for it. Let's see if we can catch this. And I missed it. And before you knew it, right, you had this volume is increasing on these red candles, right? This probably would have been the best entry. This would have been a pretty epic entry day here too, but it was declining volume. This one broke down below there and basically confirmed with increased volume. And then the next day just gave a really, really good move down right here. So keep an eye on this one. This could be working on this could be part of a typically waves, corrective waves and impulsive waves are contained by channels, right? So this could be some sort of WXY type formation or expanded flat type deal. But it could be finishing up with an impulsive move down. This is clearly a fast move here. So see what kind of retraces we get off of this week and see if it's ready to go, right? So for instance, if it does retrace back to the 618, right, and then give us a some sort of bearish confirmation, it might start to really get to go before earnings, right? So let's keep an eye on that one. Otherwise, we can see if this kind of projected move, you see how this move worked its way down here, right? We can just kind of duplicate this and just kind of show you, right? That would, I mean, the speed of that could be very, very fast to get down to this target area off of the channel. So we'll see how that goes. Now, what does that mean? That means if we get to these levels right here that we can just buy into earnings? Well, no, not necessarily, right? We don't really want to do that in earnings. But if we do get a gap up off in earnings, that could show that hey, it's finished its channel bottom, and maybe it's going to start to work on a fresh move up. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on there too. So those are the ones that are on our radar. We looked at some crypto tonight, and I showed you kind of a couple alt counts there on Apple. It could go either way, but this week could be important. And I think we illustrated nicely the use of this channel right here. So I think this is one that we can still keep an eye on here going into this week and next week before earnings on CRM. So good stuff, guys. Hopefully you found that helpful. At this point now, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible, so we can get a good night's sleep and in the interest of time for Paul. So Paul, I've got it switched over to you here. So let's take a look. Do you have one for Shirley? I hope you're doing great out there. Shirley sent it a few in, but one I know that we like to look at, and since in the interest of time, Shirley's got DKNG.
DKNG, yes, you got to count for that. I'm watching this one. I think we're getting close to a bounce here. We're actually right now still going down in wave C of 2, but we're in the golden zone. I'm going to be watching this one closely the next few days because I think it's possible we get this bounce out of the golden zone and get a wave 3 up here. Right now, we're going down, but watch for the bounce.
Nice. I'm going to pull that up over here on my chart too. So one of the things here with DKNG, guys, that this has been a really tough name, right? And we've talked about it a lot on the show here, and we talk about it a lot in our group too. It's given us a couple good moves, a couple nice retraces for some bounces, right? But really not like huge impulsive follow through, right? Not like this, like it did, like when we first got to know DKNG, right? Kind of give us, when you see a move like this, like you want more of it, right? And you expect more of it, and it doesn't necessarily always do that, right? So right now, sometimes we're like, DKNG is done, right? It's broken out. Now, we were bearish on this going into this week, and we pointed out a couple of these levels right here that we took out, and then earnings came along and gave it a little bit of a deeper move. But what I really like what Paul said is that, hey, this thing could be working on this sort of A, B, C move down, right? And so we don't want to get disgruntled just because it's working its way down, right? We should actually kind of get excited about that, hey, maybe this is a nice retrace right here that's going to eventually give us some more upside action. So DKNG is a player, right? It's out there. It's not one of those SPAC type names that's not doing it, that had a lot of hype and is not doing anything. I mean, they react heavily to kind of gambling news, and they're busy out, doing new marketing things. So I think it's definitely one to keep an eye on too. So good stuff. Great one there, Shirley. I appreciate that. So alphabets. Dylan's got AXGN. Paul, I have not looked at this one yet. I'm not sure if you've got a wave basis on that or.
Yeah, I'll bring it up on here and see what we got.
Yeah, see, I don't even think I know what this is.
Yeah, it's a new one to me too, but looking at it to right here, it looks like we're kind of grinding up, and this could be a 3 and then a 4, and then it looks like we're getting an impulsive move up right now for a wave 5. So I would say pretty much. Let me see what kind of count we come up with.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like wave 4, you can notice, is an exact 38% retrace, which gives me a
Nice.
lot of confidence that it really is a wave 4. And that would put wave 5, if we do a little extension, wave 5 could go up to the 32. So wave 5 could easily go up to like $32 here. And
Nice.
it doesn't looks extended, of course, but maybe we'll get some kind of wave 4 pullback before another run up.
There you go. Cool. Good stuff. Great chart on that one there too. So C trades, you've got EOS. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah,
EOS. I don't think I've charted that one, but Paul, let's see if we can do some magic
yeah,
on this.
yeah. Let's see what we got.
Oh my goodness! It almost
EOS
look,
here.
this thing looks exactly like the S&P. What is this?
Yeah, we got this big dip going down here. It looks like we've had an impulsive. You could count this whole thing as a wave 1. This could be an A, B, C. So wave 2 can end up going down to the 1.8. So we could get a deeper 2, or we could get a bullish move up from here. It's kind of sideways and muddled right now, so just have to keep an eye on it.
Nice, great stuff. And then Nas, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. You've got Viac on the radar. Let's take a look at Viac.
Bayak, I've
Woo,
been
that
watching
was
this
one of the ones that
one.
got beat up pretty hard by that Archegos capital debacle, and I'm expecting it to eventually work its way up. I think they had earnings. I think they had good earnings. I just didn't really see much
Okay,
of a big move off of it. So
yeah. I mean, we had this big drop, and a lot of people are watching this, but right now we're just going slowly sideways. Slow price action, and maybe a 1, 2, possibly we'll start up in the wave 3.
yeah, let me pull up Viac over here real quick. I mean, one of the things that we want to look at, especially with this, is sometimes you're going to give some fake out moves, guys. I mean, we did get a nice little bounce in here. The key thing is that when a stock gets beat up like this and it's kind of down, right? Still need to keep it on the radar, right? But a helpful thing to do is just to just kind of put like an alert on it. This thing is in a range right now. And just basically just look for the potential for this thing to get some increased volume right out of the range, right, is really what we want to see. So I'd really like to see a nice big volume candle here over 50 probably to show this thing's at least going to try to get going. The key is not to take your eyes off of it, right? So you don't want to stare at it every day because it's kind of a pretty boring price action, but once we start to get some increased volume and a good strong candle on that one, we might start to see it go again. So good stuff there. Great stuff, then. Really appreciate it. Rich, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. And so Bullish Bears Trades, you got a few good ones out there. So we got Disney, and MU. Disney's got earnings this week. Paul,
See if
have you done a count recently on Diz?
see what I got for nothing recent here. Let me get rid of some of this stuff here.
It's getting tight before earnings. This is probably one we really just want to see what it does after earnings, right? To give us some clarity.
Yeah, right now I have us 3 forward. It looks like we had an impulsive wave 1 up here, and right now we're kind of going sideways in some kind of wave 2 here. Wave 2 could be in right there, and this could be the start of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. Just be careful if it does miss on earnings, right? That could make it a larger corrective pattern. So a little bit of caution off of that. How about MU or Tesla?
Tesla. I think I have a cleaner chart for Tesla here.
Nice.
Yeah, Tesla. Okay. I'm bullish on Tesla for sure, and I have us going up in this impulse. It's the red and blue count, where it's another 1, 2, 1, 2, and we're going up in impulsive wave 3. Like Bitcoin, until price breaks the 887, the alt is an ABC zigzag, which is still out there. It's still in play, but I mean, with ES ripping, I'm pretty confident that Tesla's going to go right up in the wave 3 here.
Nice. I've got I've been tracking that the zigzag down for Tesla. So
Yeah.
with Tesla, the big thing with me for Tesla is this, right? So here's the macro downward trend line on it. This line right here. And so what I'm looking at and the reason is just because it tags here to here, right? So here was your low, but it's still, this was your only level that doesn't intersect. So technically we're still below the downward trend line. Now it tried to get above it, right? And so we're basically in this trend box range right now, right? But the one thing that I'm tracking on this is that I thought was pretty interesting is this 1-2 move right here, and even though we had a quick pop on Friday, it still stayed below that wave 2 low right there. So for me, until it can at least get above that, so basically a good push over Friday's highs, then I'll be like, okay, yeah, maybe it's kind of working on that fresh wave up, and let's see if we can get out of this trend box and get going. But just because of that, the way they shot it down on Friday under that, the low right here was 691.80, right? So it's still a valid countdown. And look how they just pressed it down on Friday. They're just like, no, right? No, this wave count is still good, right? That type of thing. They just crushed it back down to our zones. And this is when we day trade, guys. These are zones that we provide to our members on all our go-to list names. And so what that does is that gives us a nice target intraday. Okay, so they pounded it down right here. We've got a general wave count on it. It didn't invalidate. And so what we can do is now we can look to see if we can get from zone to zone. And you can see right here we had this really nice kind of, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down just to get to our next zone down. And then we started to chop after that. So I'm leaning a little bit bearish on it. But again, over Friday's highs, I might start to get a little more bullish on it. And for Kathy's sake, I hope it starts going back up again. And for the ARK K. So we'll see how that goes. Great stuff, bullish bearish trades. Really appreciate the chart. So Darius, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Samara, what's happening? You got FCX and Vale.
FCX, I got a good chart on. Let's play around a little bit. FCX, yeah, this is some kind of metal miner, I believe.
Yeah. Gold, copper.
Yeah, we have a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and wave 3 tap right at the 1.618. So we are going up in an impulse. I would expect some kind of wave 4 pullback, and then we'll continue the uptrend here. But definitely bullish on this guy.
Nice. Yeah, so FCX, guys, these base metals, like a lot of these names like X and AMAT, like, I mean, a lot of these ones have been like kind of like the new fangs recently. They've just been really epic on these metals. And lumber, of course. So maybe we'll talk a little bit about lumber more this week, but we'll see how that goes. But good stuff there. Really appreciate it. So Reed, what's going on? Doge, literally to the moon. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Yeah, amazing wave count on that, and really, really cool stuff. Raul, yeah, exactly. It's like, whoa. I mean, if those Fibonacci's play out, I mean, that one takes you right to $1. It's really incredible stuff. So, Rajat, you've got Oracle and UPS.
See what
Oracle's given us some pretty big pops recently. So
Oracle, yeah, I'll take a look at that.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, what do we got here? Oracle. So on the daily, we have this dip down here. It looks like we're grinding up. It looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4. This could be the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're in another 1, 2, 3, 4. So this looks actually really pretty bullish here. This wave 3 could end up being about $95. Whoops.
It's amazing. Yeah, Oracle kind of came out of nowhere there, but it used to be just kind of a sleeper, but it really kind of came awake this year, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
A couple big spikes on that one. How about UPS? We saw FedEx make some really big moves up there, and recently, and UPS has not been far behind.
UPS.
Look at that move.
Yeah. So yeah, UPS had a 3-4, and this is a wave 5, and it looks like it's just at its 618 extension actually, and it looks like the bulls are trying to push through. Yeah, what a move by UPS. Wow.
Incredible. It's tough to chase up here, but I'd like to see if it gives us some sort of like reasonable ABC pullback or something. But I know, just incredible. I mean, who would have thought? I mean, I just remember years ago, I mean, like FedEx, UPS, I mean, you could always get some decent wave counts on it, but nothing like this. It's really amazing, right? Transports have been strong too, so that's another thing to kind of keep an eye on there as well. So good stuff. So yeah, you got CCIV on the radar. Let's take a look.
All right, so for CCIV, we had this big up and then this big down, and it looks like we're trying to start an impulsive move up with a 1, 2, and into a 3. This dash line would be the invalidation, but possible impulsive wave 3 up next week.
Nice. And we already looked at Apple, but I think, what do you think? What do you think, Paul, between NVIDIA and PLTR?
I think I like NVIDIA's count better.
Okay, yeah, I saw it bouncing off of. I drew a flag on that one. We saw it bounce off of the flag bottom on that. Let's see what kind of count we can get on this.
Yeah, A lot of stuff here in the way. But it looks like we had a wave three up, a wave four down, and it looks like we're starting this impulsive move up right now. We're just above the 80 EMA, and it does look like an impulse is on the way up for NVDA.
Nice, nice. Yeah, definitely want to keep an eye on there too. So Darius, yeah, SOS. Let's take a look at that. Now, there's one that's a. They tried to hype that one up, right? The Reddit move on that. We liked it for a little bit, and then we kind of found that it was like, it just they just couldn't keep it up after that last move. So I know there's some diamond hands out there trying to hold on to this one. Let's see what kind of count we've got going on here. So it looks like there's a chance.
Yeah, I haven't looked at this one in a while. Interesting. But what we got is this big move down. Then we have this wave one up, and then we've been kind of chopping sideways. This could be an ABC. So I have to say sideways until we see some impulsive price action get wave three started.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
get some clarity on that. That'd be great. So see, like overbought level right into budget week. Nice. Sounds like Shark Week or something like that. So, good tickets for hedging against SPY instead of options. I mean, basically, just kind of keep an eye on SPY, like on its levels, right? If it starts to break down, I mean, cash is a good hedge, right? So, you can look at spreads, right? Things like that. Also a possibility. And there's also, there's if things start to get really bearish out there, right? There's bearish ETFs, things like that. If you don't want options, Samara, yeah, the SQQQ, exactly. So it can be a good hedge against tech, specific, especially, exactly. Very good stuff. Thanks for sharing that. Appreciate it. Cool one. What's going on? Long time no see. Hope you're doing good. Nate, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. 2020, you've got GME on the radar. Let's take a look.
GME is coiling pretty. I got this in a really big triangle. We got a 3-4, A, B, C, D, E, and then I got this squished into a 1-2-1-2. But this whole thing, there's even another. Let me get my trend line here. There's even another little triangle right in here. So you can see price is really at the end of this triangle, and we're also at the end of an even larger triangle from here down here up. So we're right at the end of a triangle, a lot of consolidation. I think there's a chance GME could really pop next week.
Nice. Yeah, it is possible. I had a bullish wave count on this one. Let me show you guys what we've talked about it here before. But on GME, it's possible this thing could be working on a crab pattern, right? Crab harmonic. Now it's taken a while to work on this wing. I was hoping to do it a little bit faster, but if it does, right, and it really gets going to the 3.618, this, I mean, it could still try to work its way up to that 525 area. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not saying it's going to, but it's been going sideways here for a while. But if we get some bullish price action, like if they, like for instance, if Ryan Cohen, if they make him, like if he ends up becoming the CEO of this company, that could really change things, right? That would be the type of news that could really get this thing going back to retesting some recent highs. So we just have to see what they have in store, what kind of news catalysts that maybe get at some impulsive action. But good stuff, good find on that one. So Rajai, yeah, thanks so much. So great one on Bitcoin and Doge, awesome. Yeah, our pleasure. So how many 1-2-1-2s can we get bundled together at the max? Paul, what do you think on that one?
You can see 2, 3, or 4, but once you start getting over 3 or 4, it's probably something else.
Yeah.
You can probably figure it out to be a 1-2, 1-2, and then a 1-2-3-4.
Possibly triangulating, right? Possibly
Yeah,
triangulating.
but 1-2-1-2 is pretty common. It's just bullish, so it does happen.
Exactly. We've seen 3. We've seen 4 before. We put 4, I think, one time, it's macro stuff, right? I mean, like so you see, like here to say, for instance, on GME, if that were like a wave 1, and this were a wave 2, and this were a wave 1, and this were a wave 2, and then a 1-2-1-2, right? Then you can kind of look at that as maybe like 4 1-2-1-2s, that type of things. But you could also see it as a triangle right here too. So I mean, again, there's a lot of alt counts on these things, and you don't want to get too caught up in the 1-2-1-2s. If things start to get really tight like this, you're probably in a triangle, right? And either way, if you see a breakout on it, usually it's going to be impulsive too, right? So we got that going on. So Ollie Wally, Paul's the best. I love it. Doge to 100, awesome.
Woo!
Woo! And Thierry, what's going on? How about Neo?
Neo, I'm bullish on Neo for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was liking Neo this weekend when I was looking at charts.
Yeah, so Neo, speaking of 1-2-1-2s, we do have a 1-2-1-2. We got 3 1-2s in a row here. How could you change this? Yeah, well, count this one.
Macro one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how could you change this? You could say this is 1, and this is an ABC down, so you could pull this 2 over, but it doesn't really look that great from a geometry point of view. So actually, I think the 1-2-1-2s here work. This is also almost a double bottom with the second two. Um, but we did have a bounce off the 786, and I was looking at this on the 5 minute Friday, and this does look like a mini one too. So I'm bullish on Neo. I think we could be going up for sure on Neo. It is
Awesome, man.
on the watch list.
Oh, great, great stuff. And cool one. So good to see you, man. How about NET? Paul, I know you did NET not too long ago.
Oh, I haven't seen this in a while. It looks like we have a huge drop here. Let's see, 3, 4. We had a 1, 2. This is a tough count, but it looks like this is another.
Yeah, that pullback last week really gave it
Yeah, I'd have to
a
recount
blah
this.
move. Yeah, I like that. I liked your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it just invalidated under that wave four.
Yeah, so it could be something like this, a 1, 2, and this could be a 3, and then we have this 4 coming down, and we could call it, because there's overlap, it could be some kind of expanding diagonal, or this could go to another 1, 2. But with this big drop, we need to see a bounce out of here to get the bulls going again.
Yeah, that's some rough price action on that one. I mean, because otherwise, right, that wave three. I mean, this larger move down, that could be an A, B, and then that's just the wave three, for instance, could be that B, and then we could see this kind of larger C down. So that this type of price action, we see that when we had an impulsive count on it, and we start to see a breakdown like this. Sometimes we can try to look for the most bullish counts on it too, but something's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some this type of red price tag. There's some selling pressure going on there. So let's kind of keep an eye on it. Let's wait for some clarity. Let's see. Like we said, it's below the 80 MA here on the 4-hour chart, right? And so let's look for some clarity. See if we get some bullish action here. Earnings. When were earnings? Did we miss earnings on this one, or is it coming up this week?
Like it was the 7th.
Oh yeah, we had earnings.
Yeah,
Yeah, I gave a
Friday.
little bit of a pop off of earnings, but not much of a move. Uh, it was a little their loss was a little bit better than expected, or it was not as bad as expected. So we'll keep an eye on it. It's tough, that from a fundamental standpoint to kind of get really too excited about it. But we'll see how it goes. See if we can get going. Maybe there's some news come out, get going. So, but just a little bit of caution there too. So 2020. So you got IQ on the radar.
IQ. Haven't looked at that
Yeah, I
one
was just
in a
gonna
while.
exactly. I haven't looked at this one in a while, but I don't trade IQ. I haven't traded a lot of these Chinese names. I haven't traded in a while. Like who? Oh my goodness,
Wow, that looks like we're in
that was
some kind of
brutal.
bounce.
That was a brutal fall the other day.
Yeah, so for something like this, maybe what I like to do is go to a larger time frame. I've been liking the 3 day for a while. So here's 3 days, so you can see we're just going sideways and we're almost making a new low here. So this has got to be some kind of let's see what we get. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So this it does have us going down in a wave 3 move here. So this looks pretty bearish to tell you the truth.
Interesting. Yeah, some crazy sideways action, but some nasty downside action too. This one's been so tough. I mean, the options are really tough on this one. So I just be careful. It's been range bound for a while. Let's look for some volume, right? See if we can get out of there. So good stuff there. The Nest. Hey, thanks Alphabets for putting AXGN on the radar. Nice. I like it. Yeah, so good stuff there. Definitely broke out there. It was a great find on that one. I love it. Working as a team and everything. So guys, we're gonna get through a couple more chart requests here. But let's grab a few of these. We're gonna as we kind of wrap up here for the evening. But we've got a few out there that are looking interesting. So let's take a look at Brett. So you've got Intel on the radar. Intel.
Intel, let's see.
NTC.
Another NTC.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hmm.
There it is. Yeah. That's been given some crazy price action. It had big ups, big downs. Tough to see
Yeah,
a real clear wave on this one.
it looks pretty sideways to me right now. Let's see. I mean,
Like some sort of leading
could
diagonal.
we could dig out a bull count out of here and count as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going up in an impulse here, and this could be another 1, 2. I mean, so it's possible we do have a little bull count working here with a 3, 4, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you could call this a bullish chart pattern right here.
Yeah, it's possible. It's not pristine, right? It's been tough. Intel's been struggling, right? You've got like they keep on trying to put positive news out there, like investing in their new plans. trying to help with the chip shortages, and they still just keep getting beaten up after that, right? I mean, this is a really really tough name these days, but still a good one. Let's see if that wave count ends up playing out. That could be an interesting one there too. So, Rajat, so you're short in both UPS and Oracle. Okay, hopefully you got the tops on those. I would still look for some confirmation, but a couple of those counts are looking a little bit bullish, a little bit of caution there. But good stuff there. So, GG, you've got Snap on the radar.
Snap. Okay. Let's see. Snap. No, bullish on Snap. Let's have a good count. See, I was doing some 5-minute stuff on this, but it looks like we have a 3, 4, 1, 2. You can see the 2 is a zigzag ABC, and we're bouncing right up to 786. This looks like a sub wave 1, so looks like Snap is going up in wave 3. Definitely bullish on Snap.
Cool, awesome stuff. And so Nate, TSM, I'd still be really careful with TSM. That thing, it's an ADR. That thing can gap all over the place, so a little bit of caution there. Keep an eye on that count there, like on NVIDIA. That looks pretty interesting. AMD might be an interesting one to kind of keep an eye on too. We'll see if they get any follow through there. Brandon, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. So ES, we did a review of that at the beginning of the show, and Nasdaq we'll go over in the bubble report tomorrow morning. So good stuff. James, awesome ideas there, finding some bearish ETFs. Rajat, yeah, nice information on the 1-2s. Thanks so much, really appreciate it. And good stuff. We got just a couple left here. Let's just touch these real quick. Cool one. You want FTNT? Let's take a look at that. TNT.
TNT. This in a while.
Fortinet.
Let's
see.
see.
Look at this one not too long ago.
TNT. This looks pretty bullish. It looks like
Yeah.
3-4. This looks like it could be a 3-4, and this would be a wave 5 working up. We're above the cloud. We're above the 80 main. This is probably a 3-4, and then going up in wave 5 right now.
Is that an overlap there on that wave 4? Does that put us like an ending diagonal type move?
It's just barely overlapping, so it could be an ending diagonal. Yeah, 1,
Cool.
2, 3, 4, 5.
So,
Yeah, good call on that. That makes a lot of sense,
nice.
actually.
So
One,
cool one. Just a little bit of caution off of that there too.
4 and 5.
It just might be
something
kind
like
of finishing up, this type of wave here, and then just be careful, see if it gives us any sort of corrective pattern. So good stuff there. And then James, IBM had some good news this week with the first ever chip of its kind. I forget it was like a 9 nm chip or something nice. So yeah, I know they've been doing a lot of stuff with quantum computing, things like that. So IBM could definitely be something interesting to look at too. So good stuff, guys. Well, really good. Well, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in this evening. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our take, our crypto take here, and Paul's counts on Dogecoin could be very interesting if they play out. So definitely keep an eye on those. We also looked at Apple and CRM. We got a bunch of really great chart requests tonight. So hopefully you guys were able to find some cool counts out there that you can look at this week. Again, if you like bouncing wave counts off of folks, we've got a whole Elliott Wave channel in our Discord, which Paul runs. And so, if you've got counts you want to bounce off of him or other folks in the group, it's definitely a great place to do that. So good stuff there. If you're interested, definitely check out the links in the description. Paul, really appreciate you being here again tonight, and I think it was a great show, and looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, it's going to be a good week. Thanks.
Awesome. Great stuff, guys. Well, again, thanks everybody for tuning in. If you're new here, definitely click subscribe on YouTube. We don't only just do these videos on Sunday night. We do other technical topics throughout the week. We put videos out throughout the day, and it's really gives good information on the market. So if you guys like that, and whether you're new here or not, please hit the like button. It goes a long way. We always appreciate that. So even if you're watching the recording. So thanks again, guys, for tuning in. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and stay healthy out there. And remember your risk first, and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And we'll talk to you guys soon.